Oh, Sony, you glorious bastards. Where have you been? I miss you. Usually Sony's releasing something every couple weeks, but I don't know, somebody mail them some milk and cookies or something. I know they don't work well without them. In my opinion, the real reason Sony hasn't released a damn thing in years, it feels like, is because they pissed off that group of aliens who give them their technology. The alien said, okay, we'll give you this if you put a flippy screen in. You'll do that, right? And Sony was like, yeah, well, that's what they want, right? So, well, no problem. Then they flipped it up, and I flipped them. Oh, I blurred that. That's illegal. But I do believe Sony has found a new group of aliens from Pluto to work with. And so we should be seeing some stuff come out pretty soon. And that's what today's video is about, my friend. What do we expect from Sony and the aliens in 2019? Let's get into it.
All I want is the perfect camera.
First, let me apologize for not making my bed this morning. So this is my wish list for Sony in 2019. What I think they should release: cameras, lenses, just changing of the mindset of Sony. Because they have it all. They have it all. They have the technology to save this planet from ourselves. It kind of sucks nowadays that like new cameras are coming out and they're just increasing the specs. Oh, 4K 60p now. Oh, let's go to 75. And then you got no flipper screen and your IBIS sucks. I want to see an increase in usability across the board for YouTubers, not photographers. Losers. So first thing I want to see is that Sony X4000. Upgrade to this little guy. It barely even needs an upgrade, but the competition is catching up. Usually Sony stays on top of it, but they've allowed other alien groups to teach other companies, and GoPro now caught up. You let GoPro outdo you digitally, stabilization wise. That's embarrassing. I mean, sure, GoPro has the image quality of a game of Minecraft, blocky digital artifacts and shit. And just as a tip for y'all, whenever I make a video on this camera, I upload it in, at minimum, 18 megabits per second. Anything below that and you'll start seeing artifacts in all the trees and shit. And you're walking through a forest, that'll get all blocky and jerky. And I see it every time someone uploads a GoPro video. It's like, what are you doing? 4 megabits per second? Up that shit. Put a little hard drive space in your life. So while the Sony X3000 is still, in my opinion, I would buy this over the GoPro still. It still has better image quality, better mic, better pretty much everything. It's like, it's still better than that GoPro. The Osmo Pocket's a joke. It's a laughing joke. The image is too tight. You need a smartphone attached to it to even get all the features out of it. So now you got this clunky motherfucker in your hands. What's the point of that thing? That's the dumbest thing ever. Stupid Osmo. I'd Oz your mo. So what I'd like to see on the X4000, if they could give us a slightly bigger sensor. I mean, I'd love a 1-incher, but let's not be kidding ourselves here. At least a 1/1/7 of an inch. It's the slightly bigger than the 1/2 of a 14th that we got in there right now. Just a little bit. And give us some manual controls. Pretty much, just let me control something. It's auto everything here. I've got no creativity to input into you. Give us a little flippy screen on it. Put a little one in there, flip it down here. Just give me something to see myself. There's nothing anywhere. Just a little something. And improve the mic jack in the back. It's unusable. When I plug a lav mic in, it clips everything. It's unusable. So I can't do that. That's why I bought this thing, because I thought I could just clip a lav mic in there and then I'd have amazing audio on the street. That didn't pan out. Thankfully, this is good enough. These whisker things, can you see those hairs? Oh my god. I gotta trim those. They grow. You're alive, Sony. I love that. I'm just scared that the RXO was their upgrade to this, and that thing sucked. You removed stabilization, you made it a 24mm. It's like, I love this fun little camera. It'd be fun to upgrade it. Why is there flies always? Is it because I eat raw meat? Is that why? The window's up here, you asshole. Do it. Make the next one. I feel like they abandoned this line, like there's not enough money in it. But target it for YouTubers, vloggers, not action skateboarding losers. Just let them fall. Let them fall and scab up their knees. That's what they deserve. The next area Sony needs to improve on is that APS-C lineup. So we've had this A7000 rumor floating around for 6 years now, and I'm getting sick of it. I'm just getting sick of this shit. Hopefully, in a couple days it will have been released, and I can go talk shit about it, how much it sucks. And I look forward to that day. But hurry up. They're always waiting. They gotta be the perfect, I'll make my camera better than yours. So they had to wait for Fuji to come out with their superhero camera. And now they're gonna one-up it. But it takes time to one-up your competition. And I hate that. It barely needs to be better than the A6500. Just give us the flippy screen. That's all you gotta do. It's already, your image is too good for what I need already. 4K downsampled from 7000K. Your camera's already too good. It just can't be used by people who want to film themselves. So just give us the screen. That's all you have to do. I mean, there's some things I would like you to do. I'd like you to improve your 1080p. For some reason you have the best 4K and then we made it soft 1080p. It's like ice cream, soft serve. Get some. $2.99. Maybe some improved IBIS. I'll bet you can do it. Bigger body, bigger IBIS mechanism. But then just boom, rebrand it. A6600. Doesn't even have to skip up to 7. I just appreciate your slow motion and 1080p and make it usable with a flippy screen, or I will flip your grandmother over this bed. She'll be making my bed next week. Your real problem with the APS-C lineup is your lenses. They're not very good. They're not very inspiring. You have the 10-18 f4. Pretty good for a vlogging lens. I like that. It's a nice little lens. You ain't getting no blurry background in your life, but you got yourself a lens. And the only thing I want to see is like a wide angle blurry background machine. The only one they have is the Sigma. It's not even your lens. And it's too heavy, 400 grams. I could throw that out this window right now and kill somebody. You think I want to do that? I will. Give me a 16mm f1.2. Keep your cool. Don't act too excited. I had the pleasure of testing the Panasonic 12mm f1.4 versus that G Master 24mm 1.4, and the full frame was just so much more magical. I couldn't believe it. I don't know if it came down entirely to it was 1.4 versus a 2.8 equivalent depth of field wise, but that Sony was the most magical thing I've ever seen in my life, and I would buy that right now if it had a flippy screen, but it doesn't. So guess who just lost out on several thousands of dollars? Good luck surviving 2019 without me, Sony. But if they could come out with a 16 f1.2, which would be equivalent to a f1.9, I'm not looking it up. I know math good enough. Is 1.8. That's only 0.4 stops up, down from the 1.4. That's almost as blurry. If you could stabilize it as well, unless your IBIS is magic, the new IBIS, which it should be, then okay, then you don't have to stabilize it. But please, some new lenses, some wide shit, some fast aperture shit, but not too big. Your only fast lenses are long range ones. My camera has to be 15 feet across the room. Then how am I gonna film myself? You don't even have a flippy screen. And I will say this, just please, for the love of Gandhi, Hammersmith right now, publish your roadmap. I love that Nikon lets us know what's on the way, so I can know, oh, you got fuck all coming. I know to avoid you for the next 2 years at least. So that's cool. I'm actually kind of excited about their 20mm f1.8, so when that comes out with the Z6 II with the flippy screen, then I'll take a look in your direction, Nikon, and that audio preamp upgrade. Doesn't sound like cats hissing at your mom. But I wish more companies would say that. Like, yeah, we have a 16 to 35 f1 coming. We have a 14 to 40 f.9 coming that will be lighter than our 16 to 35 f1 and cheaper. But please buy the 16 first. We don't know why we made that one. And before we get into what I want to see from that Sony A7S III, I do hope that Sony comes out with another, because they already have one and it sucks. It needs an upgrade. There's Sony VG900, I do believe. I've had it. I filmed with it. It sucked. It was worse than my Canon G7X. I want to see an upgrade to that, a full frame camcorder. People keep saying, why don't you just get a camcorder? They're 1-inch sensors, all of them. And then they're 2 times the size of your mirrorless camera. Why would anybody buy that thing? Nobody would buy it. They could update that thing just like they did the A99 II. Just put the better sensor in there. Just put the A7 III sensor in there. Then you got your flippy screen and unlimited recording times and better autofocus. Just do that. I don't care if it's a little heavier. And put that Boss stabilization if you can. I doubt you could do that just because the sensor moves with the lens mount and the heavier lenses would probably break it. But just put a warning on it. Don't put anything more than this lens on or you break it and your camera's useless and there's no warranty for it. I would abide by those rules. So please make the camcorder with the flippy screen, E-mount, better IBIS somehow, and I will love you forever. Now when it comes to the A7S III, in my opinion, people are asking too much. It's like, the A7 III is already it. Just give us the goddamn flippy screen and you're good to go. Obviously they have to add 4K 60p just to keep up with Panasonic's loser system. Their S1 non-flippy loser camera. I can't believe you, Panasonic. You tore my heart out. You fed it to your own cat. I watched him eat it. If you can give us that flippy screen, that's the only complaint people have about any of your cameras. If you can just finally admit it. Is it pride? Is it pride you're afraid to admit you're wrong? Because you're wrong. I understand some photographers, they prefer the flip. Oh, it flips 0.3 seconds faster this way. Fuck you. Fucking rotate it out and then it flips even faster that way. Oh no, but I have to do this. There's starving children in Africa living off gutter corn. And you're like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, this. Hun, help me. Unless you're mailing out corn to Africa, you don't have the right. You don't have the right. Just first world problems here. Just bullshit. Just like you almost just don't want it. You have something against YouTubers and people who film themselves like that loser. I prefer the flip up. Then you find yourself in portrait mode and you're like, would be kind of, no, I don't need that. I stand on my hip and then I look and I get shoot in the bathroom mirror. This is fine. Sony, if one of your next 2 cameras, the A7000 or the Sony A7S III, if neither of them have a flip out screen, I'm gonna have to think that you're run by a dyslexic monkey who's very itchy, just had like 3 bananas, it was way too much sugar, he peed on himself, and then he told you what camera to make. Don't put the flip out screen, he said. That's the only logical conclusion. Everybody's asking for it. You have like 3 people saying, people with tons of corn, they would know what it's like. I wouldn't mind seeing like a full frame 16 or 18 f2. I mean, show me the 1.4, how big that would be, but I prefer light, super wide aperture and light and optically perfect, if you can do it. I don't give a shit about corner sharpness. If that's the corner you want to cut, I'm all for it. Sigma in there. Oh, look at that leaf up there, perfectly sharp. Nobody looks at the corner. Do you see me filming a lot like this? We're up in the corner there. This is what I prefer, this angle. This isn't sharp. Oh, what? Oh, that is bullshit. This is bullshit. Corner sharpness. Jesus Christ. So give me something. Give me some more f1.8s maybe. If that's your compromise, that's good enough. I can handle that. There's a security guard looking at me. Maybe we can get him on the show for an interview. So what, Deepa? Thanks for the interview. And as a bonus request, if you can have the next Sony RX100 Mark VII be a wide angle one, like an 18-50 or something, 18-35 even, with a mic jack this time, vlogging machine, better stabilization, something like that, I'd dig it. But other than that, just more wide angle lenses would be nice. And better stabilization all throughout your whole shit. Everything from full frame to APS-C that needs better stabilization, either start putting it in the lens or make your body's stabilization better somehow. Or just bite the bullet and go to the next mount. E-mount, did you well for a while? Make it bigger. 1 millimeter bigger than the Nikon mount, just to piss them off. So I think we're done. I think we're done here for today. Let me know down below what you expect to see from Sony, what you're looking forward to. For me, mostly it's that A7S III, because the full frame magic and just flippy screen on something. You flip anything and I'll buy it. And really, this is all I really want. The 4K, this is the most fun camera there is to use. So fun. So we're done. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. See you in the next one.